called Red Hat Squadron Javier Basis in fact. 102. Ukraine. Ukrainian Air Force. None of the MiG-21s remaining in Ukraine after the breakup of the USSR were officially taken up by Thukraf, but Ukraine had refurbished aircraft for sale in 2008. 103. Vietnam. MiG-21F in Vietnam People's Air Force markings exhibited at the National Museum of the United States Air Force. Vietnam People's Air Force. The VPAF received the first of its 20 or 30 MiG-21 F-13 fighters in 1965, 30 MiG-21 PFLS, a special variant for Vietnam, were delivered in 1966. Some historians refer to this variant as MiG-21 PFV, V equals Vietnam, but this is denied with MiG-OKB. Either 100 or 110 MiG-21 PFM were delivered starting in 1968. 60 MiG-21 MF were delivered around 1970. Several batches of MiG-21 besized Lu-75B were delivered starting in 1979, and 18 avised Lu-75A were received second-hand from Poland in 2005. The 18 included a few MiG-21 UMS. In 1998 Vietnam was interested in buying 120 exploited Polish MiG-21M, MiG-21 MF, MiG-21 UM and MiG-21 US, but it is not known if they were purchased. 104. An unknown number of all variants of MiG-21 trainers were delivered, but MiG-21 UMS were the majority. 105. In 1996, 6 UMs arrived from the Ukraine. The order of battle of units operating MiG-21s in 2007 SAD Smiley 106, 370th Air Division 929th Fighter Regiment, the 935th Fighter Regiment, BNHOA. 371st Air Division 921st Fighter Regiment, Neubai. 927th Fighter Regiment, KEP. 931st Fighter Regiment, Yenbai. 372nd Air Division 933 Road Fighter Regiment, Kinnan. Air Academy 920th Fighter Regiment, Phuket. 932nd Fighter Regiment, Phuket. North Yemen. Yemen Arab Republic Air Force. In November 1979, North Yemeni President Ali Abdullah Saleh concluded an arms deal with the USSR, including 60 MiG-21 bis and MiG-21 UM. 107. All of the surviving MiG-21s were transferred to the new Yemen Air Force following unification of the two Yemens in 1990. 108. South Yemen. People's Democratic Republic of Yemen Air Force. More than 40 MiG-21 MF were delivered to South Yemen in 1973-1974. 109. In the 1980s, some MiG-21 bis also entered service with the South Yemeni Air Force. 110. Some MiG-21 UM trainers were delivered as well. 111. All of the surviving MiG-21s were transferred to the new Yemen Air Force following the unification of the two Yemens in 1990. 108. Yugoslavia. SFR Yugoslavia. Yugoslav Air Force MiG-21 F-13S/N22532 on display at the Museum of Aviation in Belgrade. The Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia operated up to 261 MiG-21s in 10 variants from 1962 till 1992. There were 41 MiG-21 F-13, 36 MiG-21 PFM, 25 MiG-21M, 6 MiG-21 MF, 46 MiG-21 BIS, 45 MiG-21 BIS-K, 12 MiG-21 R, 18 MiG-21 U, 25 MiG-21 UM and 7 MiG-21 US. 112. During the war in Western Yugoslavia, these aircraft were passed on to the newly established Air Force of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. 113. Yugoslavia eventually acquired 41 MiG-21 F-13s, 36 MiG-21 PFMs, 12 MiG-21 RS, 25 MiG-21 MS, 2 MiG-21 MFs, and imported MFs 4L-15I, 91 MiG-21 BIS, 9 MiG-21 U-400, 9 MiG-21 U-600, 7 MiG-21 US, 25 MiG-21 UM.1. Yugoslav MiG-21s were used briefly in the first period of the Yugoslav wars in Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina between 1991 and 1992, mostly in ground attack missions. Additionally, there are 4 known incidents of MiG-21s forcing Croatian police helicopters or civilian airliners to land. 63. Several aerial victories are credited to MiG-21s of the Yugoslav Air Force. On the 7th of January, 1992, an AB-205 helicopter off European Community was downed by a MiG-21 BIS of the 124th Fighter Aviation Squadron. 63. Yugoslav Air Force squadrons operating MiG-21 aircraft 123 Road Fighter Aviation Squadron, 124th Fighter Aviation Squadron, 125th Fighter Aviation Squadron, 126th Fighter Aviation Squadron, 127th Fighter Aviation Squadron, 128th Fighter Aviation Squadron, 129th Fighter Aviation Squadron, 130th Fighter Aviation Squadron, 352nd Reconnaissance Aviation Squadron, 353rd Reconnaissance Aviation Squadron. FR Yugoslavia. The Air Force of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia inherited its MiG-21s from the former Socialist Yugoslav Air Force. Some were damaged during the 1999 NATO war against Yugoslavia. Survivors were passed on to Serbia. 114. Very little MiG-21 activity is known of from the time of the NATO bombardment, though a MiG-21 is credited with the downing of a BGM-109 Tomahawk cruise missile on March 24, 1999. 63. Further, Serbian and other sources claim that Yugoslav MiG-21s destroyed 3 Albanian J-7s. 63. But none of these is believed to be a valid claim, as only 10 were in service at that time and none of them was flight capable. 115. 204th Fighter Aviation Regiment, 126th Fighter Aviation Regiment, 352nd Reconnaissance Aviation Squadron, 83rd Fighter Aviation Regiment, 123 Road Fighter Aviation Regiment, 124th Fighter Aviation Regiment, 130th Fighter Aviation Regiment. Zambia. Zambian Air Force and Air Defense Command. The ZAFODC received at least 16 MiG-21 BIS fighters and 2 MiG-21 trainers, starting in 1980. 116. In 1997, 12 or 13 of them were sent to Israel, to be overhauled by Israel Aerospace Industries. 116. However, due to a lack of finances, at least 3 of them were never returned to Zambia. The entire ZAFODC MiG-21 fleet was withdrawn in early 2009. 117. Civil operators. Some aircraft are now owned and flown by private collectors as warbirds. There are even importers in the U.S. that purchase MiG-21s, MiG-15s and MiG-17s from Russia and other states and sell them to civilians for around $450,000. References. Citations. Fontanellis, Cooper and Matt.
Good. I did finish reading. I have it very, very hot. So I need to wash my hands because I did eat this chocolate. So I'm not reading more today because it's very, very hot in my apartment. We're not feeling bad, but I'm not feeling very well. I'm not feeling well because it's been very hot last 3-4 days. Like 30 degrees. So let's open my door. But it's not really help a lot. I will just continue tomorrow. I'd like to read about the MiG-19, the 17 and 15. Let's go backwards. I need the MiG-27, 29, 33, 35. But just take one by one. But this MiG-21, that's not a good fighter jet, it's just a very old one, but that's all the way from the early 60s. The MiG-23 and 25 was a very good fighter jet, but not the MiG-21, I think. I don't think you can get any spare parts in this MiG-21, 23. Or MiG-25 or 31. So I just continue, I have to do some video. Make some video about it in my language Danish, but not today because it's so hot.